Hey guys, so today I have a video with...
My name is Tasha. I have a YouTube channel called Sincerely Tasha, and you can go check it out. The description will be in the box below. We actually did a video last year around this time, the Switch Makeup Challenge. So
absolutely. Look at this quick clip.
I'm gonna put the contour shade.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay.
And truffle.
This is a contour? Jesus.
Does it say truffle? Yes. Yeah.
Don't like me. Okay.
And yes, there.
Bruh. It's lighter than me. And we also have a video on her channel doing a mukbang talking about social media and relationships. So definitely check that out on her channel. And she said I put it in the description box below.
Yes. So please subscribe and watch the videos I have up there, and just get to know your girl a little bit.
So I wanted to do a quick little talk about pros and cons of living in Atlanta and
New York.
Well, she's gonna talk more about the more popular parts of New York, like the 5 boroughs, and I'm really gonna be talking about Atlanta because we all know, well, most of us know, if you leave Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, you're pretty much in a dead zone of like country road living. So I'm not really gonna talk about that since that's not my experience, but basically that's the regions that we're talking about, particularly when we say Atlanta, New York. Okay, so the first topic we're gonna talk about is entertainment in Atlanta versus New York. So I'm going to start with you since you're the guest.
Okay.
What do you think entertainment is like in a whole sense, as you can summarize it, in New York? And how is the pros and cons of it?
Okay. So one thing I will be honest about, I don't go out often in terms of like, the nightlife and stuff like that. But I will say the entertainment I find more so in the city, like Manhattan. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the Bronx, no, because that's where I'm from. I don't know how it is in Queens. I've been to Brooklyn, not that often because I don't mess with Brooklyn, no offense, but
like people that you talk to, what is their experience? I mean, you might not have lived it, but what do people say about these other regions as well?
Okay, so most of my friends are either from the Bronx, and I have like a few that's in Brooklyn, but like I said, we mostly go out to the city if we are going to hang out because there's more stuff to do out there. I would say the entertainment, like in terms of like trying to have fun, it's okay, like it's fun. It's always packed, mostly on weekends though. If you're trying to do something on the weekdays like Monday through Wednesday, Thursday maybe, it may not be as packed, but definitely the weekend, like I would like to go to the bars. What else would I like to do?
So when they say, when people in New York say, let's hang out tonight,
yeah,
what's the first thought in most people's minds up in New York?
I would say clubs and bars.
Okay.
Definitely clubbing and bar, like going to a bar is like the first thing. Especially like when I want to go hang out with friends. We're like, oh, we're going to the bar tonight. We're trying to get lit. So Manhattan for sure. The only thing is, it's pricey. If you want to have fun, get your coins ready in the city. Because you will break your bank trying to get these drinks and food. It's not cheap out there.
Is it just Manhattan that's the issue, or is it an overall sense of New York? Or at least the 5 boroughs?
I would say it's very pricey in Manhattan. Well, I think it depends where you go also.
Yeah. Because
you could go to the bar in the Bronx or Brooklyn, and it might be a little reasonable, but the city, you may have to pay $16 just for one drink, and I'm just like... But what about you, like in Atlanta? How would you describe the entertainment and stuff?
I would say for Atlanta, it really depends on the neighborhood you're in and what vibe you're getting. Wherever you live depends on the type of entertainment you're going to get. So if you're going to live there, let's say Edgewood Avenue, you're going to get a lot of bar scenes. Right. If you live, let's say, more Buckhead areas, you're going to get a lot more restaurant scenes and more like eating out scenes. So think about Atlanta though, a lot of entertainment is centered around food. And so like she's here in Georgia right now with me, and like almost exclusively like every move that my friends have made or I have made for her, it has been like some type of food space. Yep. We not going nowhere if there's no food. We don't drinks, that's cute or whatever, but food, that's the thing. Atlanta, we have club scenes, duh, but it's not to the extreme as like New York club scenes.
Yeah.
We're really more centered around lounges, if anything, and food. So we have a bunch of restaurants that stay up late at night. So when people be like, let's make a move, where y'all trying to go? A lot of times it's a nice, really nice bar / restaurant in Atlanta.
But I was gonna say, because like, let's just say we're in New York, we're trying to get like late night food. With Atlanta, y'all have a lot of spots open like till 4 or 5 in the morning. You could just run to. Us, things just shut down 12, 1, 2.
Well, we have things that shut down too, but we have a good amount of options. So yeah, we don't really have a diner.
Yeah, we have diners.
Yeah, y'all have diners. We have Waffle House. Of course, there's like other scenes, like the more hipster scenes, so you can go to like a lot of art gallery shows and stuff like that. Of course, New York has literally everything Atlanta has, and but I feel like we have a stronger dosage of like the art scene and the restaurant scene. Okay, so that's a good transition into food. So how would you say the food is down here versus Atlanta or New York?
So from being here a couple of times in that like Georgia compared to New York, I would say food in Atlanta is way better. Way better to me. Like, I don't know, so, like, it tastes more authentic. It tastes like it's made with love. And let me tell you something. It is way, way, way cheaper.
So that's going to be the overall theme throughout every section we talk about.
What?
Cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. Atlanta is an upcoming city, but it's already up. You see what I'm saying?
It's reasonable with the prices down here. Like, because, okay, I kind of went through a culture shock when coming down here a little bit so when I go grocery shopping for like at least 4 things, it would be like $20+. So when I went grocery shopping here, I got 4 things. It was under $20. Because I usually I was getting cereal, like the big cornflake box cereal. At home, I would get that for like $5 or something. Down here, it was like what, $2, $3, and I'm like, wait, what? Why is it so cheap? But I
think it's relative to the money y'all make.
That is true.
Because the job that I do here, the job you do there, is gonna be way more of the New York.
Because New York, our minimum wage is like 15.
Right.
Over here,
it's 7.25.
It's 7. So I can understand like things are gonna be a little less.
So yeah, so
expensive.
definitely price is like the ratio pretty much is consistent, but I guess it's more about like how the food tastes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the food tastes better here.
Way better.
And even the service here really helps as well with the food. So it's like an overall better experience. When I went to New York a year and a half ago with my friend, we were having a lot of issues with servers, the food coming out cold and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you dare complain in the north about your food being cold or whatever, it's kind of like a roll of the eye and attitude. But down here it's like, that's no problem, that's my pleasure, we will get you another plate. Right? Yeah. And so I'm so used to, if my food ain't right, I can just get another plate, or I could try another thing on the menu and they'll take it off my ticket. New York, joke's on you. Yeah. You're paying for that and a new meal you wanted.
That's a fact.
So and for all that, disrespect in the hospitality side of things, the food ain't even that good. So if you don't have bad hospitality, at least have better food.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm probably not going to the spots that y'all thinking of the top of your head, like, well, did you try this restaurant? I understand that.
Yeah, there's some good places
but we have more of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. I think that's the difference, is that we have more hits than nays. So I guess our next topic now is culture and diversity. So how do you feel the culture is in comparison to New York? Because I think we all have to understand that New York clearly has more different types of people.
Yeah.
But like the culture of it in terms of them being, of all those people being in New York, and like how does the culture just different from Atlanta?
So I would say that, like I mentioned before, people in Atlanta are very, very kind. Like, I don't know how to explain it. New York is more rush. Like, move, get out my way. I'm trying to get to point A to point B.
It feels like people in New York have
Everyone's on a hustle
every day.
Yeah, we're trying to hustle.
It's like a survival mode.
Yeah.
When I go to New York, I feel like people are in survival mode. And even if you're the $1 million on the block or the person making $2 an hour, whatever it is, I still feel like both of them are still in the same survival mode.
Yeah.
They're trying to survive to maintain the lifestyle that they have created for themselves. As in Atlanta, it's like people, whatever lifestyle they're in, whether it's the $1 million lifestyle or $2 lifestyle, I still feel like people aren't moving that fast to get to their goals.
Very like chill pace.
And at the end of the day, it's funny that both people from those two different regions still end up at the same spot in life. So it's just funny how like New York is just so aggressive in their mannerism and their choices and everything. It's just super aggressive.
Like I said, it's like culture shock coming down here. Cause I kind of do it too. Like, so like not with your friends, but like if I see somebody, they automatically greet you like, "Hey, like how you doing?" And I'm just like, you know, like, but that's just like what I'm used to. You know, everybody just minds their business. We don't greet each other. It's just like, you're staying in your bubble, I stay in mine. So like when your mom had like somebody over, but I'm just a quiet person in general, so I'm like, I'll say something.
No, but that's the attitude down there.
Yeah, like I don't really talk until somebody says something to me, because I don't want to say something and I get dubbed. But like,
the thing is, I feel like in Atlanta and Georgia culture, Southern culture, to be honest with you, it's like you can get to where you're going but still be kind and meet people along the way.
That's true.
But people think a lot of times it takes us 2 times longer to get to our goal because we're constantly like slowing down compared to New York. But I don't think that's it. I just feel like the way the South operates is with a lot more social skills and a lot more just character in the person, while New York is more about analytics. And like, show me the numbers, show me the work, show me this. While down here it's more like, who do you know? What you know, who do you know, how do you treat people? And I feel like both kind of need to blend, because you kind of need those analytics to show that you are that girl or you are that dude, but you also need like that character to kind of be like, okay, you can slow down, you know how to greet people, you know how
it's definitely fast paced in New York, but that's the thing, like I guess because I'm so used to New York, and I was talking to Olivia about it, like I'd rather live here, which is like a goal of mine, to live in Atlanta than New York. Because of my personality. I'm more chill.
That's actually.
Oh, I'm more chill and like, you know, very not too fast paced.
And I realized that too, because when I went down to New York with my friends, we didn't realize how fast the week came by.
Oh, it goes so fast.
And then like you can't live in the moment because there's so much things to do that you're trying to constantly just hit every move. But that's the beauty about New York, is that you have so many options, things to do, but it's kind of like you want to do all these 10 things in one day, and then you blink and the day's over, and you dirty.
What?
The subway.
And of course, it's very diverse.
Yeah, you see everybody.
Very diverse.
But I do feel like Atlanta, as a black woman, is more sustaining and more thriving for black women and men as well. Black women speak for myself. And so I do feel like Atlanta provides more spaces for me as a black woman than any other
but I feel like there's so many business going on down here too,
which are a lot of them are ran by black people.
I was gonna say like black
and it's so common for me to go to a corporation and in Atlanta and almost confident that it's a black man or woman running that show, while in New York it's all types of other people but us. When I was walking down the streets in Atlanta, in New York, so many people were stopping us saying, "Oh my God, beautiful black woman!" It's like, is it hard to see like 5 group of black women in New York? Yes, because we did not find one group of black women in the circle that wasn't at night, that wasn't the day. At nighttime, I saw black people in a group.
Really?
For nightlife. You
don't see it often?
I did not see it often. That's what me and my friends are all saying. Maybe it was just our coincidence that we were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But where like what was the like in Manhattan or
all over the whole trip?
Really?
We did not see a single group. We did not see a group of like 4 more women walking together, black women walking together in whatever way they want to walk in. you don't understand how many compliments we got just because it was a rare sight to see 5 black women in the daytime walking together. So people constantly stopped us, and one lady even wanted to take a picture of my friend because she looked like she was famous because it was so uncommon to see us on the street and walking together. It was crazy. And I'm like, yes, New York's diverse, but diverse with who? In Atlanta, we're here. Me walking with 5 black girls.
It's like common. Like you see.
It's like air. So depends on what you want, but for me, I love Atlanta for that. So the workforce opportunities, how do you think that is?
I feel like it's always competition. It's not easy.
I feel like the same.
Really? Yeah.
But I feel like I said previously, more opportunities for people of color, especially like myself, black women.
You have to compete. That's what I'm saying. People's on their hustle. Like even me, because it's just like, when I apply to a job, I'm not gonna lie, my name, I have to think, I think everybody thinks about their name and then also their race and stuff like that. But like you said, Atlanta is like, you know, very black owned. Yeah. New York, as a black woman, I have to like worry about my competition, because I even thought about, like, sometimes I'm like, I'd rather prefer not to say my race, because I feel like that play, I don't know, to me,
especially in the Bronx community, I feel like a lot of different communities. I think New York has a lot of communities centered around ethnicity. So it's like the Jewish population over here, the Irish, the Hispanics, and so like if you are considered like an outsider in that community, it's hard to get jobs in that community because they're only hiring their community.
You have to fight hard, man.
New York is all about diversity, but isolated diversity. So at work y'all might all intermingle, but they go home to their own people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Atlanta, there's diversity here. Of course, not to the extent as New York, but there's diversity here nevertheless. But we all go home with the same people that we went to work with. We don't have a community where it's like, I mean, of course, not saying that's absolute. Of course, there's communities where it's like strictly one type of population, ethnicity, whatever. But for the most part, in Atlanta, and especially in Metro Atlanta, you're going to find everybody in your community. As for New York, everybody's like one color, one ethnicity.
Yeah, I would say in terms of work, like there's opportunities out there, but it could be harder for a black woman to get a job compared to somebody who is Caucasian, you know? They may pick...
And I feel like it's the issue here too, because at the end of the day, South is the South is the South. We have a lot of conservative idealisms down here, and like the workforce is getting short no matter where you go really in America. So, and lay down like conservative concepts along with like a lot of other concepts. It just makes it horrible. I feel like up there y'all have a lot more resources in terms of like help. So y'all have more government assistance, I feel like, up there than down here, because y'all not constantly trying to fight the government. As with this conservatives down here who are constantly trying to fight the government to not use their money, XYZ, just with the conservative like layout of things. So y'all have like mental health assistance that's usually free. Y'all have co-ops. Y'all have
we do have a lot of assistance.
Y'all have like more Planned Parenthood options for people with women's reproductive services. So it's like y'all have way more money funding y'all. There's always something that can help y'all financially. While down here it's like, we'll give y'all some food. And somebody always said that when it comes to the people who are experiencing homelessness, people in the South they'll be full for the most part, but they won't have a place to stay. While people in New York, they will have a place to stay, but they won't have no food.
Because I worked at a crisis, I was a crisis counselor, so I always had to like refer out services. I would get calls from homeless people like, I need a shelter to stay. So many out there. I don't know how it is in Atlanta. If you guys
shut them down every blinking eye.
Really?
So it's unfortunate. They'll have used something that was assistance to them. Yeah. So the last thing is just an overall lifestyle. So just to sum it up, I know you said you would love to live in Atlanta, but like, what are just some general, like if you had to name 5 pros, somebody says, I'm going to move to New York. What are the 5 things about New York that you would want somebody who's considering New York to know about, and the 5 or 3 to 5 cons that you think people need to know about, even if they are considering to move to New York or not?
Okay, 1 pro, diversity. I would say that's a really big pro. Another one. Oh, I really need to think about this, Olivia.
Oh, it's called enemy. Go ahead.
Diversity. I mean, there is things to do out there, so I would say like you would just have to put yourself out there. There is a lot of activities you can do, but the only thing is, a con for me is like it's expensive. Oh yeah, that's one big con. And New York is very expensive. Like for one bedroom, you gotta pay like over $1,000, especially in the city. Probably $3,000 to live in a condo. I don't even know. Like if you just want to live in 2 bedrooms, you might have to like, you know, share the place with somebody just to make it like so you can afford it. So that's one con, is that it's very expensive. You have to work hard. I guess another con is like, well, compared to Atlanta, is like the pay. You get paid a little bit more than Atlanta.
So is it con or pro?
That's a pro.
You said con.
Oh, sorry. Somebody that Olivia knows that with their bachelors, they weren't really making that much. But then when they got their masters, they really still wasn't making much until they had to switch over to a new career just to make enough money. Where in New York, with your bachelors, you could start off pretty decent. Like, okay, like really decent. And with your masters,
you're just shooting for the stars.
Right. And imagine your PhD, girl, bye. So like, I will say in terms of paying, it's really
giving you the money that you deserve.
Yeah.
But then the con, and once again, is that money goes back to the system of living in New York.
That's what I feel like. You're just working to pay. Well, I mean, that's everywhere. I feel like once you have your money, it's straight towards your bill. Like, you don't want to work just to you know, spend it on bills. You want to use that money for, you know, for your personal stuff, like travel, or if you want to treat yourself. But I feel like you have to keep up with your lifestyle that you're trying to live in New York.
What the pros for Atlanta is that it's growing. Meaning that if you have something that you want to grow, this is the city to be, because every single industry is growing here. And it's not saying that it's growing from the bottom. We're at the top. We're just growing even bigger than the top now. So you're not coming to no random city that's developing. Like we're developing, but we're still high up there. Right. We're still a hot city as we're continuing to grow. So whatever idea or concept you have, this is the place to kind of like let it burn alive and like come to fruition. Another pro is the people. You know, of course there's people you're gonna meet who's mean, but not everywhere. But like overall sense, it's more, people are more respectful, people are more considerate. Of course that comes with people being nosy. Some people love being in your business, honey.
Same.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's just more pleasurable experience. People are for the most part are being kind to you throughout the day, whether that's through you going grocery shopping or you just walking down the street. For the most part, people are you're being greeted, and then sometimes you might not think that's not a big thing to look for, but it really changes the development of your day and how you feel about the days that you go through. It's cleaner than New York, and I didn't realize how important that was till I came back home, and I was like literally trying to kiss the ground because I didn't realize how much cleaner Atlanta was. Not saying it's clean, it's cleaner. So definitely that. And if you're in certain industries, like I said, this place is the place to be, honey. And the weather is much better down here. We have winter, but not New York winter.
Oh yeah, that's another clash. I said the weather.
New York has if you genuinely enjoy every season for what it is, live in New York. But if you enjoy warm, hot, and cold, warm, hot, and maybe cold, depending on how the weather feels, come to Atlanta or Georgia, because Georgia has bipolar weather, but you're not finna get snow that's 10 inches.
And then it's like 80 degrees the next day.
You will get that.
Here?
You will get 2 inches of snow and then 80 degrees the next day, I promise you. And then rain and then thunderstorm. But you're not gonna get nothing too off the wall where you can't even leave your house because it's ice covering the treetops. You know what I mean? So it depends on what you like, but it do get hot down here.
Yeah.
But New York do get hot too. Believe that. Cons of Atlanta is you don't really get paid for what you're really worth here. You, unless you make it your reality, if you're a freelancer, we're talking different. Talk about more like 9-to-5s or anybody that has like hourly wages. Another con is like let's say transportation. If you don't want to drive, you can't drive. You're old and you can't drive. You kind of stuck for the most part. So kind of like being, you can live in Atlanta, have MARTA, but it still has its challenges because it doesn't go everywhere that New York could take you. Another con is Atlanta shuts down. Like she said, New York shuts down. Atlanta shuts down on weekdays. It's done. You're not doing nothing. Clubs be closing on Mondays. Clubs don't open on no.
Yeah, at least we have clubs open like literally every day.
Like Atlanta's a very, they call it the Belt State. Very Christian state. So things aren't gonna happen. On Sundays you can't drink till 12:30. Really? You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of rules out here. So that's the issue to you. Then boom, that's that. But I mean, overall, Atlanta is beautiful. New York is beautiful. They have its beautiful characteristics. I think it's more about what's important to you and where can you grow the furthest. Yeah. And what's important for your family as well, if you have a family to take on with you.
I recommend Atlanta to have a family. That's where I would like
Atlanta's
to have
a great place to have a family. But New York is good. I mean, don't close out upstate. Of course, we weren't talking about upstate. Yeah. But like,
this is just my personal preference. Like, I don't know, it might work for you, but it may not.
And depends how much money you walk with. New York could be a whole different world for you if you have a certain amount of money.
So if you're making 6 figures, you're gonna love New York.
But Georgia, you can have no figures and still enjoy Atlanta because Atlanta has a thing for everybody. Yeah. Essentially, you can drink with $2. You can drink with 50. It's up to you how you want to drink. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the situation is. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming to my video, and let me know down below where you're from and what are the pros and cons from where you're from. Yes. I would really love to know what's going on in everybody else's world and what they like about it and what they don't like about it. Because I'm young, she's young, we're trying to find somewhere else to live, possibly. So definitely don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, sincerely Tasha. Please check out my YouTube channel. And follow me on social media at @OhSnapIsTasha __ on Instagram.
And that will, of course, be in the description box down below. To subscribe to my channel, right? Cool. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.